guys! Hi! It's me, Mermaid Thea. How are you guys? First, I want to say thank you for your subscribes, for your views, for your comments, and for everything. I really appreciate everything that you do for me and for my channel. So, guys, today I have decided to tell you this about this underwater tragedy that happened some years ago. So, guys, this underwater tragedy happened because of many mistakes, and because often when there are mistakes underwater, often the result is fatal. Today I will tell you the story of Audrey Maestre. She was a famous freediver, and she started freediving with her husband. Because he also is a famous freediver. His name is Francisco Ferreras, but everybody calls him Pipin. So Pipin is very famous in freediving society, and he have many records for freediving. In one breath, he has many underwater records, and he meets Audrey Maestre. Audrey Maestre is born in France, and she, since a young age, she was very fascinated with the sea, with underwater, and with the marine world and everything that is connected to the underwater world. She began swimming. She has some records in swimming. She was a champion in swimming. And then she became a scuba diver. So she was diving with the gear, with everything, scuba diving. And then, of course, when you are a scuba diver and where you are fascinated with the sea and everything, sooner or later you meet the other people that are scuba divers, free divers, and when you go to the places where everybody dives, because there are places in the world which the conditions are very good for free diving, for scuba diving. The marine world is very beautiful there. So everybody goes to these places to dive. And there, in one of these places, she met Pippin. They had a connection, sudden connection. So immediately they develop this relationship, and they started to dive together, and Pippin introduced her to freediving, because before that she was only scuba diving. So with him she began to freedive with him, because and he was her teacher, and together they started to freedive, and they have these movies, these amazing underwater movies. They were freediving together, and he was teaching her, and after a while, she became very good in freediving. She was holding her breath for a long time, and everything was going like in a fairy tale. They were exploring the marine world, they were making movies, they were making records, freediving records, and but the problem was that Pippin is a very ambitious man. So he wanted to break records all the time, freediving records. And he was just he didn't stop, and he wanted to achieve more and more. So they have records like a couple in one breath to reach 150 meters, and he have records alone, and of course he wanted her as his wife, as a freediver woman. So he wanted her also to have records alone, and she was listening to him because she loves him, of course, and she wanted him to be happy. So she started reaching these depths and to make these records for a woman. And in year 202, she made records with him. So they made records for couple, and then she had to beat this other woman records, which was 160 meters or 150 meters. I'm not sure, but Pippin wanted her to break these records. And because, as you know, the condition for freediving and for these records, the sea conditions change very quickly. So there is period of time, maybe for 1-2 months, in which you can make these records and in which you can go that deep. And after that, the condition in the sea became not so good for free diving or for scuba diving or whatever diving there is. So in this period, short period of time, you have to prepare everything for this attempt for a record. And there are so many things that you have to consider for this attempt for freediving record. So maybe 5-6 days before this attempt for her, for Audrey Maestre, she was practicing, and she reached 166 or 166 or 117 meters. She reached them. So at her training, she reached the record, and she was better than this other woman. So the records was set to be on 12th of October. And because of the preparation that were 5-6 days ago, when she attempted the record, when she was training, probably, I'm not sure, but probably that was one of the reasons that everything went so wrong, because it was short period of time between the training and the record day. So they were doing everything faster, and they were not much thought and not much thinking before this record was made, before the attempt for the record. And of course, as you know, sometimes when things start to be wrong, many things were not as they should be, because you have on different level of the rope, of the meters that you have to go down. You have scuba divers which sit there to help you if something went wrong. But one of these scuba divers was ill, was not feeling good. And because they didn't have other scuba diver, they said, okay, just we will not put, there we will not put scuba diver. And not all the depths was secured, because in one of the depths that must have scuba diver, the scuba diver was not there, and they didn't find other scuba diver to replace him. So they said, okay, we'll just not put scuba diver there at these meters. I don't know, maybe 60, 70 meters, I don't know. And there was no scuba diver. So then, when she went down on the rope, when she reached the record or the place where she decided to return, there is a balloon which she put switch, and the balloon is filled with air, and she hold the balloon, and the balloon reaches the surface with her, and it become very fast to reach the surface. So when you go down, like maybe for 1-2 minutes on the rope to reach this depth, then very fast you go up, and you will not suffer to go slow and to go, so you reach the surface and you can take breath, and you can take air very fast. And actually, these scuba divers that are supposed to help you can do much, because as you know, if you take breath from the scuba diver, then you have to stay at this depth, and you have to share the oxygen with the scuba diver, because you can't go up very fast, because the air in your body will explode if you go faster. So you have to stay at the different depths, and the oxygen may not be enough for the two of you. So both of you can drown, because when you don't have enough oxygen, there is nothing you can do at this depth, because for the scuba divers is very dangerous, because the levels of the oxygen in their blood, and they have to stay for 5-6 hours underwater because the pressure of the oxygen to become normal level, so they can go up. So it's very dangerous anyway to scuba diver to give you oxygen. And so what happened? The Pippin was in charge of this water balloon, and he was in charge of filling the bottles that supply this air balloon, which was supposed to take Audrey Maestre to the surface. So Pippin was at the surface to wait for her, and she began her attempt for a record. And everything was normal because her apnea is long, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I'm not sure how exactly, but she have a long apnea, so she can hold her breath for a long time. And she was calm that everything is fine because her husband was in charge of the whole project, of the whole record, and everything. And she began, she reached the 170 meters. And actually, this is very sad, guys, because there is footage of the bottom of these actual events. So she reached the 170 meters. She hold this with the meters, with the records. She hold it. Then she turned on the air balloon. And guys, guess what happened? Actually, nothing happened because the bottles with the air for the air balloon was not filled with air. So you can imagine what this woman is thinking at this moment, because because the bottles are empty. There are no air in the bottles, and when she switched the switch for the air balloon, it just stayed like this. The air balloon stayed like nothing, and nothing happened. And then she began, because there is nothing else that she can do. So she began slowly going up the rope. There are 170 meters. And she began going up by herself, which, as you can guess, will take a long, long time. Actually, the going down was with mechanical, so it was bringing her down fast. She was holding this thing, which was bringing her down very fast on this rope. But then she had to make going up alone. And then, of course, there were no scuba diver at this certain level. So she was completely alone in the dark because, there is no light when you are that deep, the light starts to, the light begin at 30 meters. So after 30 meters, there is very dark. And she was going slowly, and it took her 11 minutes, guys. So she was underwater 11 minutes, which of course, as you can see, are very much. So around 40 meters, Pippin, when he sees that she's not reaching the surface, so he jumps in the water with scuba diving, with bottles, with some gear, with oxygen to save her, and at 40 meters he reached her, and together they go up. She's unconscious at this point. She's unconscious, but at the surface, she's still breathing. When they reach the surface, she's still breathing, but because there is nothing, no help, because they didn't arrange some medical help, because Pippin was so sure that nothing went wrong. I don't know why, but they didn't arrange any medical help to wait at the surface. Maybe because it's more expensive, I don't know. So at the surface there was nobody to help her, and even that she was not dead at this point at the surface. When there were no help, so she lost this battle, and she lost her life. And this is the underwater tragedy that I wanted to tell you guys. The aftermath of this tragedy is that Pippin, everybody of course blame him for this. People said that he wanted to kill her, but I'm not sure that if anybody will want to kill his beautiful wife, his partner. Just this was a fatal mistake of Pippin, because he didn't put oxygen in the bottles for the air balloon, and everything went so wrong after this. So guys, tell me what you think. Do you think that Pippin really wanted to kill his wife, or this is some fatal mistake? And tell me, guys, what do you think about this? And guys, thank you very much for watching my videos, for subscribing for my channel, and for everything that you're doing for me and for my channel. I'm very happy and I'm very thankful. And in the next video I will show you how to make this souvenir, this mermaid souvenir that I've made. And I will see you very soon, guys. I'm sending you kisses, and I will try to upload a new video every 4 days. So in 4 days I will be uploading a new video for you guys. And thank you again for everything. And bye bye, guys.